Welcome to the Faithful to the Word Sermon Podcast. Today, we're jumping into a really special passage, Psalm 136. You could almost call it a song with a powerful, repeating heartbeat. It's designed to drive home one of the most foundational truths of our faith. So let's get into it and see what makes this psalm so unforgettable. And here it is. This is the line. This is the heartbeat. It shows up after every single verse in the psalm. That's 26 times. You can just imagine the scene. A worship leader would declare one of God's amazing acts, and the whole crowd would answer with this powerful chorus. You see, this isn't just simple repetition. It's the key that unlocks the meaning of the entire psalm. Now, that English phrase, lovingkindness, is trying to capture a massive Hebrew word, ḥesed. And honestly, this is one of the most important words in the entire Old Testament. It's not just a fuzzy feeling or being nice. Hesed is God's unbreakable, loyal, promise-keeping love. It's the kind of love that holds on when everything else is falling apart. It's the steadfast mercy that is the foundation for everything God does. The psalmist breaks all this down for us in a really helpful way, kind of like 3 movements in a symphony. The first part declares God's love by focusing on who He is. Notice that it doesn't start with what God has done, but with His very nature. And that teaches us something huge right off the bat. Real worship always starts with the truth of who God is. You can feel the energy build in these opening verses. It's like a crescendo of praise. First, we give thanks to the Lord simply because He is good. That's His core character. Second, we give thanks to the God of gods, which is a way of saying He is supreme over every idol, every false power we could ever imagine. And third, to the Lord of lords, acknowledging His absolute sovereignty over every king, ruler, and authority on earth. So, what's the big takeaway here? It's this crucial connection the psalm makes. Knowing who God is, that's theology, is the fuel for a gratitude. You see, if we try to have thanksgiving without good theology, it just becomes shallow sentimentality. But on the flip side, theology without thanksgiving, well, that can become cold, lifeless, and academic. The psalmist is calling us to weld them together. A heart that is on fire with gratitude because it's informed by a mind full of truth. Okay, so after establishing who God is, the psalm shifts gears. It moves into its second part. And here, it shows us how that everlasting love isn't just some abstract idea. Oh no, it's a powerful force that has been actively displayed throughout history in what God does. This verse kicks off what is basically a highlight reel of redemptive history. The psalmist wants us to see beyond a shadow of a doubt that God's ḥesed isn't passive. It moves, it acts, it creates wonders. In fact, these wonders are the tangible proof, the historical evidence of His love in action. And just look at the sheer scale of these wonders. The psalm starts at the very beginning, with creation itself, a display of God's incredible wisdom. Then it zooms in on the central act of salvation in the Old Testament, redemption, bringing Israel right out of slavery in Egypt. From there, God provides miraculous deliverance at the Red Sea, He offers preservation for 40 years in the wilderness, and finally, He secures their promised inheritance. Every single one of these moments is another reason to sing about His ḥesed. This moment, the parting of the Red Sea, is maybe the perfect picture of God's saving love. Think about it. Israel did absolutely nothing to save themselves. They couldn't. They just had to trust and walk through the path God made. He acted alone. He delivered His people, and He defeated their enemy, all because of His everlasting loving kindness. Now, for us as Christians, these incredible events are more than just ancient history. They're what the Bible calls shadows that point to a much greater reality. The Exodus from Egypt points to our ultimate redemption from the slavery of sin. And the Red Sea, that points straight to the cross, where Jesus Christ conquered our greatest enemies, sin and death, and made a way for us to pass from death into everlasting life. And that brings us to the final section of the psalm, which is just a beautiful, personal conclusion. After sweeping through cosmic creation and these epic moments of national deliverance, the psalm pivots. It brings it all down to earth and shows us how this very same powerful love is demonstrated in God's intimate, personal care for you and me. I mean, just look at this incredible contrast. The same God who spun the stars into existence is the one who remembered us in our low estate. The God who crushed Pharaoh's army is the one who rescues us from our personal struggles. The God who defeated mighty kings is the same one who gives food to all flesh, who cares for the daily needs of His creation. His cosmic power is perfectly matched by His personal tenderness. This verse right here marks such a profound shift. That phrase, low estate, speaks of complete helplessness. It means being weak, afflicted, with absolutely nothing to offer. And it's in that state, our lowest point, that the God of the universe stoops down and remembers us. That, right there, is the heart of the gospel. Now, this is really important. When the Bible says God remembers, it's not like you or me trying to recall something we forgot. Not at all. In the Bible, when God remembers, it means he's about to act on behalf of his people based on the promises he has already made. It's an active, promise-keeping faithfulness. He remembered Noah, and the floodwaters went down. He remembered his promise to Abraham, and he rescued Israel from Egypt. So the question for us is, how do we take this incredible psalm and make it the anchor for our own lives? Well, it's by learning to sing this endless song of ḥesed ourselves, by understanding that this one powerful refrain applies to every single season and every circumstance of life. So think about it. In those moments when life is good, when your heart is full and blessings are just pouring in, what is the right response?
It's this. We give thanks, acknowledging that every good thing we have is a gift from him, flowing directly from his unending, steadfast love.
But what about the other times? What about when the night is long, when prayers seem to hit the ceiling, when the valley is dark with trial and with sorrow? What do we say then? The refrain doesn't change. And that's the whole point. That's the power of this psalm. Our confidence, our hope, is not based on our ever-changing circumstances or our fickle feelings. It's based on the unchanging character of God. His ḥesed is just as true in the darkness as it is in the light. And ultimately, every single theme we've seen in this psalm, creation, redemption, deliverance, preservation, and that intimate personal care, it all converges at one single point in history, the cross of Jesus Christ. He is the ultimate embodiment of God's ḥesed. At Calvary, the everlasting love of God put on flesh, bore our sin, and proved once and for all that his loving kindness is truly everlasting. And so we land right back where we started. This simple, powerful, beautiful declaration is the foundation of our worship and the anchor for our souls. From the creation of the world to the cross of Christ, from the Red Sea to the empty tomb, this one truth echoes through eternity. His loving kindness is everlasting. The insights shared in this explainer come directly from the sermon on Psalm 136 preached by Dr. Joshua Nichols, which you can find through Faithful to the Word. Thank you so much for listening. If this was helpful to you, please take a moment to like this and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. To hear the full sermon and to find a ton of other great resources, you can visit our website at faithfultotheword.com. Faithful to the Word is a nonprofit ministry, and if you'd like to support their work, you can do so by making a donation right there on the website.